What's up, ladies and gents? This is KSigKid coming at you with another Destiny video. Today we're at it again. It's another episode of Cool or Crap. We're going to take a look at the Dreg's Promise. So for those of you not familiar with this series, we take a look at a gun, we determine if it's cool, or we determine if it's crap. There is no gray area, there's no in between. You need to draw a line in the sand and pick a side. So that means that if you call a gun crap, everybody that absolutely loves the gun will just crap all over the comment section because they are so offended by your opinion not enjoying the gun. But we're going to stand true and we are going to persevere. We're going to review the Dreg's Promise today. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and smack that like button and subscribe to the channel. We'll see if we can get this Dreg's Promise review up to 100 likes. So yes, this is the Dreg's Promise. It's new to the April update, not new to Destiny. We used to be able to get this from the Challenge of Elders. After completing a level 34 or level 35 Challenge of Elders, you might have picked up an Elder Cipher. Then you would go through a long quest and you could pick between the Lord of Wolves, the Queenbreaker's Bow, or the Dreg's Promise. This time around, you just get it directly from the Challenge of Elders. Sometimes you don't even notice that you actually picked up an exotic. Sometimes the exotic goes directly to your postmaster. So sometimes you're really surprised if you actually grabbed one of these. They're all pretty cool looking guns though. Let's say this from the start, the Prison of Elders weapons all look pretty amazing. And quite honestly, they're all pretty cool from the fact that they feel exotic. They might not be the best guns in the game, but they all feel like they do something different that other guns in the game don't do. And that's one of my big criteria for exotics. I want exotics to feel exotic. As I'm looking through the perks here, I ended up making sure that I wasn't affecting range. So that means that I just stick with the default soft ballistics. I really like range on my sidearms. I don't want to pick either of the other two barrels because they affect range, and that's never a good thing on a sidearm. So whenever you read that Grave Robber perk, it actually looks pretty good. Melee kills could give you a chance to completely refill your magazine, and that is a good thing. You're going to see that in the future. But I don't know exactly how much it procs, so that's kind of a little bit situational. Shock rounds now actually give you a little bit of homing, and they ricochet. You'll notice the ricocheting rounds a lot. You won't really be able to notice the homing all that much, in my personal opinion. Everything feels a little bit chaotic, you don't really notice it homing all that much. As far as the middle column, I ended up picking up Snapshot, because, like I said, you're able to track with your shots, but in order to track, you basically have to treat it like a regular rocket launcher, where you're aiming down the sights on an enemy, getting that lock on, and then firing off the bullets. So I wanted to be able to aim down my sights quicker. There could be an argument for perfect balance though, because if you're tracked in on a headshot, the shots will track and follow around and hit the enemy in the head for a critical hit. So for those of you that have played on the Dreg's Promise, have you used perfect balance? If so, am I missing out? Should I be using perfect balance? I don't feel that Field Scout is really all that necessary. I feel like I'm doing pretty decent with the amount of ammo in reserve. Also, since it's a sidearm, it's always going to spawn with a minimum of 36 ammo, and that is really nice. That can't be understated. 36 ammo every single time you die and respawn is always a good thing. Having special ammo is always a good thing. So something else that you probably already noticed from some of this gameplay, it's not written on the card, but this gun fires in 3 bursts, just like a normal pulse rifle. The pros and cons of this are that the pros, if you're in range, you're basically doing 26 a headshot. That's a rough estimate. Obviously, things will change up just a little bit depending on the enemy that you're facing. But 26 a headshot with a 3 burst means that you could potentially do 78 damage in close with a full burst of headshots going to the head, which means that you'd be able to take a Guardian down in 3 bursts, and it would be a really quick time to kill in that matter. Of course, since it's a sidearm, your range falls off really quickly, so being in that ideal perfect range is not going to be an easy thing. Also, it's not quite as stable as a pulse rifle, so if you're looking at it like a Hawksaw, you're just not going to be able to easily get those headshots like you would if you were using a pulse rifle. Also, because you're firing off 3 bursts at a time, you're dealing out less damage per shot, so your normal Havoc Pigeon is going to deal out much more damage in one shot than one particular bullet from the 3 burst of the Dreg's Promise. But this also means that you're going to eat up your special ammo really quickly. You're really easily going to be able to run through your magazine of 18. You basically get 6 trigger pulls with the magazine of 18, so you're going to have to be a little bit judicious in how you're firing this off. If I'm playing and thinking as I'm shooting this gun, I should pull the trigger about 4 times just to make sure that I'm getting the enemy. Obviously 3 would be great, but you're never in that ideal range all the time. So typically, if you want to be a little bit conservative with your ammo, 4 pulls of the trigger should do it on most enemies. It should do it on most enemies. If not, you're wasting your ammo a little bit, and then you're going to run out, and you're going to need to reload, and you're not going to kill the enemy. But we're looking at whether this gun is cool or crap. We need to make a decision. What do we think about the Dreg's Promise? That's right, the Dreg's Promise is cool. Cucumbers are jealous of this gun. They can't handle it. This gun looks amazing, and it's just a lot of fun. It is a lot of fun. Now, you're not going to be seeing this in your skirmishes, your sweaties. You're not going to be seeing it in Trials of Osiris. You might not even see people using it in the Iron Banner. Though I'm going to be using it in the Iron Banner tomorrow because I'm having a really good time with it. Because you shoot off so much ammo, you really don't need that Field Scout perk because chances are you're not going to be stocking up your reserves enough anyway. But I like the fact that I always had at least 36 bullets. This meant that I was able to take down 3 Guardians typically because budgeting around 12 bullets per kill. Again, not efficient in the special ammo at all, but if you're always starting with 36 bullets, that's a nice thing. You can also give yourself a nice loadout with this gun. I really found that I enjoyed the Hawksaw and this gun together. That made me have some killing potential at all types of different ranges. Hawksaw and this gun both fire extremely fast, so you can get used to pulling the trigger pretty quickly, and it doesn't feel like there's a whole lot of differences between the guns, which is pretty nice and probably a pretty understated ability for a combo of weapons. So I had a lot of fun with this gun. It got some sneaky range kills. It can definitely catch people by surprise. I noticed that there are definite still problems with the hit registration. This isn't a hit scan weapon. It fires projectiles, those are the things that end up tracking, so sometimes you're going to pull the trigger on an enemy, you're going to waste all of your rounds, you're going to shoot into them, you're going to die, and then suddenly you're going to see their health bar just melt all the way down. I definitely received a few post-mortem kills in that fashion, so just something to keep in mind. Again, the people that are playing ultra competitively are never going to use this gun. They're just never going to use it. But for those of you that aren't doing the Crucible in that manner, for those of you that are looking for something different to change up your experience in the Crucible, just run around and have a good time, this should definitely be in your loadout. At the very least, you should give it a shot. The biggest weakness with this gun that I found is that it's just not equipped to take on more than 1 Guardian at full health at a time. It just doesn't have the ammo in the magazine to be able to take down 2 full health Guardians. And that's a pretty big shame. That's a shame. So if you've got any armor that has sidearm reloader, put it on, because every time you kill an enemy with the Dreg's Promise, you have to reload. You have to get comfortable with reloading after a kill, getting to a safe spot, reloading, then going back into the battle. You're not going to be able to take on 2 enemies with 1 Dreg's Promise magazine, not if they're at full health. And that's a little bit of a shame. We all know that they said that they nerfed Dreg's Promise's damage by 40%. They said that it was just going to be a little bit too powerful if they didn't nerf it by 40%. I just don't know if I can believe that. I think the problem with the sidearms, the reason why people don't use it, is because they're the only gun that really needs you to reload after every single kill. With a shotgun, 1 pull of the trigger, boom, you're ready to go, you don't need to reload. With a sniper rifle, 1 pull of the trigger, boom, dead, don't need to reload. Same thing with the fusion rifle. 1 pull of the trigger, dead, don't need to reload. With a sidearm, you need to pretty much use your entire magazine, whether it's a Dreg's Promise or Havoc Pigeon or whatnot, and then you need to reload after every kill. I think they've got a little bit of damage problems and a little bit of a problem in general with the way that they design sidearms, but that's probably something that we could get into in another video. For now, the Dreg's Promise, I wish it could get at least half of that damage that was taken away back. Maybe 20% just to be able to potentially fight off 2 different Guardians in 1 magazine. That would be pretty nice. But overall, Dreg's Promise, extremely fun. You're a cool daddy-o if you're rocking out this gun. You are cool, you know you're cool, and you're showing it to everybody. Anyway, guys and gals, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, smack that like button and subscribe to the channel. Check out these awesome videos. Good luck with your rigs, your drops, your sidearms, and I'll see you around in Destiny. I promise you, Dreg, I'll be back.